Hello everybody. So it is 12 midnight, if you will, and I haven't filmed a vlogmas video yet for today. Am I losing my mind? Slightly. For today's video, I'm going to quickly talk about my top 10 movies of the year. So there's this app called Letterboxd, and basically what you do on the app, like this is my profile, you can have your favorite movies listed, you can have your most recent movies, there's the films you've watched, your diary. So for example, this is my diary. It is all the films I have watched. Wow, focus, thank you. The last 5 years, right? There's my review I typed. You can tag it, you can follow your friends, you can look up movies, look up what actors are in which movies, you can make lists, you can create a watch list. It's a super fun app. So I've ranked them all on there. You can follow me on Letterboxd at diswithsyd, but I'm just going to read you their descriptions of the movies since they're more qualified about this than I am. So we're going to start at 10 and we'll go back to 1. So my 10th favorite movie of the year was a movie called Set It Up. This is an original Netflix movie, and according to Letterboxd, this is the synopsis. I feel like I need a movie voice for this. Two overworked and underpaid assistants come up with a plan to get their bosses off of their backs by setting them up with each other. This is like, I don't know, it's such like a heartwarming movie. Like I watched it when I was kind of like stressed out and sad, and it was just really funny and cute, and so I was like, this is so good. Number 9, I feel like literally everybody has seen, but it is To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is also a Netflix original. Laura Jean's love life goes from imaginary to out of control when her secret letters to every boy she's ever fallen for are mysteriously mailed out. It is like peak trendy teenager culture this year, but I love Lana Condor and I love Noah Centineo, and it was just so good. Like I don't understand how you can like not like that movie. It's so wholesome and pure. Number 8 is Black Panther. Black Panther was so good. I just it is such a beautiful movie, and I feel like, again, a lot of people have seen it. I hope you've seen it. Please watch Marvel movies, they're so good. But if you haven't, here's like a little synopsis, I guess. King T'Challa returns home from America due to the reclusive, technology advanced African nation of Wakanda to serve as his country's new leader. However, T'Challa soon finds out that he's challenged for the throne by factions within his own country as well as without. Using powers reserved to Wakandan kings, T'Challa assumes the Black Panther mantle to prevent Wakanda from being dragged into a world war. This movie is so good, and if it gets snubbed at the Oscars, I'm gonna be mad. Number 7 is Thoroughbreds. I feel like a lot of people have not seen this movie. I feel like it's very underrated. It was in theaters, but not for very long, and it was genius. So the plot of this movie is two teenage girls in suburban Connecticut rekindle their unlikely friendship after years of growing apart. In the process, they learn that neither is what she seems to be and that a murder might solve both of their problems. It is like the most slightly twisted crime thriller indie coming of age movie. It's so good, and if you're like scared of crime movies, it's not that scary. It's like a little scary at the end, but like it's not like a horror movie. There's just like an underlying theme of murder. Fun. Number 6 is a movie I watched very recently, and that is 8th Grade. This movie, it probably would have made it higher on my list, except for the fact that I couldn't really enjoy it because it was so traumatic, because 8th grade was traumatic, and it just hit like every like middle school part of me that's still left, and it was just like, ugh. But anyways, 13-year-old Kayla endures the tidal wave of contemporary suburban adolescence as she makes her way through the last week of middle school, the end of her thus far disastrous 8th grade year before she begins high school. Number 5 is Beautiful Boy. This picture popped up. I love Timothée Chalamet. This movie will hurt your heart. It is heart-wrenching, but so basically, after he and his wife first separate, journalist David Sheff struggles to help their teenage son Nick, who goes from experimenting with drugs to becoming devastatingly addicted to methamphetamine. And it's based on a true story. It's Timothée Chalamet and Steve Carell, and it is so just like moving, heart-wrenching, sad. Ugh. It's a lot, but it is very good, and that is why it is pretty high up on my list. The movies above it, for me, they're more rewatchable and enjoyable, whereas Beautiful Boy like hit me once, but I don't have the desire to like go rewatch it. Whereas with these other movies, I've seen them. Wait, except for this one, because this is number 4, Avengers Infinity War, and this movie destroyed me and I have not seen it since. Do I really have to explain the plot of Avengers Infinity War to the internet right now? Like, is this happening? There's this purple dude. I'm not gonna read this. You don't need this. There's a purple dude named Thanos, and there's these 6 stones that control the universe. They're spread amongst all the Avengers in different parts of the galaxy and of the world. Thanos is here to mess things up and try and collect all of them. And so it's all the Avengers versus Thanos. And if you've been on the internet, you know the ending, and it sucks for Marvel fans, okay? It'll just take your heart and just throw it on the ground. Can you tell I'm still emotionally distraught about this movie? Because, moving on to a much happier note, we have spot number 3, which goes to Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. 5 years after meeting her 3 fathers, Sophie Sheridan prepares to open her mother's hotel. In 1979, young Donna Sheridan meets the men who each could be Sophie's biological father. The soundtrack, very good. Everything, very good. Dancing, very good. Actors, very good. Speaking of all of that, for a second movie, my number 2 movie of the year is Bohemian Rhapsody. Is anybody surprised? It's about Queen. That's it. And, drumroll please, my number 1 movie of the year is Love, Simon. Again, really nobody should be surprised. Love, Simon is about Simon. Simon has a secret. Simon is gay. Simon gets outed. It's his whole process. I cannot believe there are people out there who have not seen this movie. Oh, I completely forgot about like the entire plot that he starts emailing this guy named Blue, and you don't know who he is until the end of the movie, and then you find out, and it's beautiful. And this is movies that came out this year. Films watched in 2018. We're up to, I watched 64 movies this year. I feel like it's kind of a lot. So those are my top 10 movies that came out this year. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to go see other movies that didn't make the cut, or if you want to see all the movies I've watched this year, regardless of when they came out, you can go to my Letterboxd, download the app, follow me. This isn't sponsored, I just love them. I'll see you, and hopefully these vlogs will get better in a couple of days. Bye!